Top 5 Tuesday, everyone. It's going to be a quick one because I'm really tired and want to go to bed. But we're going to do, since I've just come off the back of a DOS Game Club podcast recording, which will be hopefully out fairly soon, I'm going to do top 5 DOS games. How about that? And number 5 is going to be the one. The one that's just been recorded. I don't think it's fairly public knowledge that it's been recorded around now, so whatever. I'm sure it's fine to discuss it. Jazz Jackrabbit. Very, 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 very technically impressive game. The only reason why it's in my top 5 at all is mainly because of nostalgia, because I think if I was to play it today, while I would appreciate it's an audio-visual treat, and I would appreciate it for that, and the fact that there's just nothing else like it for DOS. The problem is, as a game, it's not actually very good, and it suffers from the classic shareware curse of, it's the first episode is the best that the game has to offer, and then everything else is just kind of, well, whatever. We've got your money now. You can have the crappy rest of the game. Yeah, it's a shame because it's the first game that I remember playing. So it's a shame that it doesn't get higher, but, nostalgia can only take you so far, and rose-tinted specs can only take you so far. Number 4, then. Tempted to say, the one that springs to mind is Red Alert. Command & Conquer Red Alert. It's a classic real-time strategy game, one of the early ones that defined what a real-time strategy game should look like. Naturally, Command & Conquer came before it, and I think Dune 2 was sort of the foundation of all of this. Yeah, but it's a truly cracking game. It's sort of an alternate history Cold War, and it's... I don't know, to this day, it feels really intuitive and good to play. It feels... it doesn't feel dated. It feels fresh, and like an RTS should. It's got, the graphics are very nice. They're a bit tiny-weeny if you play it on a modern monitor, but, they look good. It's got a lot of nice pre-rendered stuff. The animations are great. I enjoy the FMV cutscenes of Albert Einstein, and I can't actually remember many of them off the top of my head, but there's lots of very cheesy 90s cutscenes in and amongst the action, and it's wonderful to watch. And yeah, the impact that it and its contemporaries made on the games industry as a whole. I mean, the RTS was a massive thing following that, so one can only appreciate it. But yeah, I do like a bit of Red Alert. Number 3. Oh gosh, what do I say now? DOS games. See, the DOS games are now... I can't think of any. Number 3, I'm going to say Blood. It's a classic DOS FPS, based on the build engine that was popularised with Duke Nukem 3D. And while I do like Duke Nukem 3D, it's not really top 5 material, in my opinion. But yeah, Blood. I really enjoy the B-movie, cheesy horror vibe that it's got going on. And, the level design works really well. In one instance, you're in a creepy funfair, and when it's the atmosphere is perfect, it's really spot on. And then there's another one where you're in a hedge maze, and it's a bit like The Shining, which is really, really good. There's one where you're on a ship, and there's a especially good level where you're on a train. I do have a soft spot for levels based on moving trains, and that's a really, really good one. You get dual shotguns. It's all very close quarters, tight action. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Not for the faint of heart. There's a lot of blood-curdling screams, as you would expect from a game called Blood. And yeah, it is the B-movie horror thing. Also worth keeping in mind that the game always has an infamous bug. It's already a really difficult game, just by design, but there is a bug where I think I'm remembering this right. If you play any difficulty you play it on, if you die and respawn, and it automatically gets set to the hardest difficulty. So, yeah, it's not the easiest of games, But yeah, it's quality bit of software is Blood, and great latter day DOS FPS. Number 2 then, it's got to be Secret of Monkey Island. I only played this game for the first time a few years ago. I played it with bit of explanation. There is a remaster, a remaster called Monkey Island Special Edition, and there's one part of it that's excellent and there's one part of it that's rubbish, and the rubbish part is the remastered graphics. In their defence, nice painterly style, but it doesn't work with the original engine. And the animations are just not there, and it gives it a really low budget vibe that the original didn't have. The original has got this beautifully put together backgrounds and animations and art, sprite work, artwork in general. It's been clearly made with skill, and while the new one has also ostensibly been made with skill, it doesn't come across that way, and it got a very budget feel as a result. It doesn't do the game justice, but the voice acting that they added in the special edition, it's so good. It's perfect. The original didn't have any voice acting, but the special edition adds it, and it's amazing. But you can't play the original with the special edition voice acting. Except you can, because somebody made a patch for the original that adds the voice acting back in. So I played it with that, and it was magnificent. It was the best way to play Monkey Island, in my opinion. And that's coming from somebody who's only played it through once, so take my opinion with a pinch of salt. Yeah, fabulous game, a classic point-and-click adventure, great sense of humour, and again, it's aged really well. Like I said, I only played it a few years ago, and it was a wonderful treat. Admittedly, I didn't get right to the end. I think I got stuck on a puzzle and then just didn't go back to it, but that's just what happens with games for me, unfortunately, sometimes. Yeah, Monkey Island, fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Number 1, though. Cheesy Invaders, of course. It's Cheesy Invaders. It's the best DOS game ever made. There's no better... Actually, it's not Cheesy Invaders, and if I was a bit more awake, I might have done that joke a bit better. Alas, I am not. Doom 2. It's Doom 2. Now, it's a little bit unfair, I think, but I don't care. Doom 2. Well, Doom revolutionised video games. I don't think it's unfair to say that. There was nothing else like it at the time, and as soon as it came out, everybody wanted to ape Doom. Everybody was already trying to ape Wolfenstein 3D. And people were bringing out the Wolf 3D clones, and then Doom came along and just stomped them all into the ground. It was wonderful. It was like nothing else. And the game's, even though it's a fantastic tech demo, there was nothing else like it before. It was brand new, and it still manages to be a quality game. It's fun to play through. Doom 2 is exactly the same thing, just with different levels. But the reason I say Doom 2 over Doom, because personally I prefer the levels in Doom. I think Doom is a better game as it is. The reason I say Doom 2 is because of the community around it. And Doom 2 is, well, everything that is created that's Doom related nowadays, it's all based on Doom 2. So that is the definitive experience. Even Doom has been ported to Doom 2, so they both run on the same engine anyway, so it wasn't really a port, but you know what I mean. So, but why? What's so special about Doom 2? Because you play it now, and if you've never played it before, I feel like you might struggle with it, because it is... I don't think it's unfair to say that it is dated. It's an FPS and it's 3D, but it's what 3D looked like in 1993, so it's not quite as up to the level as even games from the mid to late 90s. 3D just exploded at that point, and it didn't take long for games to really surpass Doom in terms of graphical fidelity. But what a lot of later FPSs lack is that sense of immediacy. You start Doom up and you're straight in. You don't have to faff around, and it just feels. There's no other game that feels quite like it. It's visceral and it's fast and it's well, I think that's the word, immediate. It's responsive. It controls so beautifully well. It feels like you have the perfect control the whole time. But the key thing is the fact that it's been supported for all these years. It was made open source not long after it was released. I think it only took a few years, I think. And since then, Doom 2 has just been this fabulous... It is just this massive institution in video games. People are making mods, new games based around the Doom engine. They're porting Doom to new platforms. You know, even now, Doom has been the most ported game in history. It runs on... yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a stupid joke, but it runs on pregnancy tests. It runs on printers. It runs on smart fridges. It runs on everything. And that is the reason why I hold Doom in such high regard, because you could just live off Doom for the rest of your life. Because there's so many diverse... gameplay opportunities. Just dive into the mods and you can find no two mods are the same. I mean, some of the mods are the same, but you get what I mean. You can pick two mods and have wildly different experiences each one. It's fabulous. If you want to see, I think there's a fantastic representation of what is possible with Doom modding. It's kind of become a trope in Doom, but you may have heard of it. It's called My House. And yeah, if you're not familiar with what is possible with the Doom engine these days, yeah, go see My House. It's something else. Anyway, I'm going to leave that one there. I said it'd be quick, and I've been talking for over 10 minutes again, so well done me. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.